Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Austin here, or Luna. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night so far. So, on this channel, a lot, I tell stories about stupid things I did in high school back in the day, or just school in general. And, usually it is the students that are doing the stupid stuff in high school, right? Usually it's not the teachers. Usually the teachers are the smarter ones, the role models, whatever you want to call them, right? Well, this story I'm about to tell is about a teacher that wasn't quite a role model, at least not in this instance. And I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about it. So if you enjoy the story, leave a like on the video if you do. Let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place back in 8th grade. Yeah, this was my last year of middle school. This was right before high school. I had like 2 months left. Life was going pretty good at the time. Can't really complain. I remember, enjoying middle school. It wasn't anything crazy. I liked it, right? It was fun. Well, in middle school, I had this teacher. Specifically, my English language arts teacher. It's funny because my story time I told the other day was about my English teacher in high school. This one's about my English teacher in middle school. So, for the most part, she was pretty cool. Not much to say about her, right? She was pretty chill, pretty normal. Didn't really seem too strict. She also wasn't too chill. She was just a regular teacher, right? A pretty good balance of chill and strict. And she was mainly one of those teachers where she'd come in every day, do her job, read out of her textbook or whatever, and answer any questions you might have, and that was it, right? Some teachers in my school, they were a little bit more personable. For example, my social studies teacher, or history, or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes he would talk about sports with the students, in between talking about school stuff. If we had a free minute, he'd talk about sports, or, just kind of talk about sports related shit with students. Cause I think, he wanted to be viewed as the cool teacher, the dude that doesn't only just talk about school stuff all the time. If he gets a free minute, he'll talk about sports with you. She didn't really do that, right? She would never talk about anything outside of school stuff. She was very professional, very on point, right, when it came to her job, which is obviously respectable in its own regard. But yeah, essentially, I didn't really know much about this teacher's personality outside of her reading out of her textbook, right? So one day in 8th grade, I get up out of bed, I take a shower, I eat some cereal. I had plenty of time to get ready on this morning. I woke up pretty early, and yeah, I was ready pretty quick, right? So after eating my cereal and just kind of kicking it around the house for a little bit, my bus pulled up, got on the bus, went to school. And school started off very normal. First period, second period, nothing out of the ordinary, right? Everything completely normal. Well, then I get to third period, right? I'm in science class. And about halfway through science class, I start having to pee, right? I don't know if I drank too much water that morning or what. I must have been pretty well hydrated because I had to pee very bad. Usually I'm good at holding it until passing time, and I could do it while I was in between my classes, but I had to go. So I got up. Went up to my teacher. I was like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And she was very cool about it. She's like, yeah. So I got up. I started walking to the nearest bathroom. And as I got closer and closer to the bathroom, I start smelling a really strong smoke smell. Not like bonfire smoke, not like weed smoke, not, smoke you would smell when wood's burning. It smelled like cigarettes, right? And I'm like, okay, someone must have smoked a cigarette or something really fast in one of the bathrooms and it's seeping out in the hallway a little bit. And then I get to the bathroom, right? And I walk in and there is smoke all over the bathroom, and under one of the stalls I could see legs wearing high heels. So I'm like, what the fuck? There's a girl in here in the boys' bathroom, and she's smoking a cigarette. Crazy. But if you guys know me, I'm a pretty chill dude, right? I don't like to get involved in anyone's business that isn't my own. So I just took my pee, went to the bathroom, went over to the sink, started washing my hands. And after I was done washing my hands, I started walking out. Now, as I'm walking out, one of my friends walks in. At the same time as I'm opening the door to leave, he walks in. He's like, yo, what's up, Austin? And I was like, what's up, dude? And I kind of turned around and walked back into the bathroom with him just to talk to him for a quick minute before I left. And as we both walked in, he goes, holy fuck, you smoking bogeys in here? You smoking cigs? I was like, no, man, no. He goes, wait a minute. And he points to the stall, right, where her legs are. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yo, lady, you're in the wrong bathroom. And she yells back. And she's like, I know, sorry, the woman's one was closed. I didn't want to walk all the way upstairs to the next one. And my homie yells back. He's like, doesn't matter, this one's for boys, not girls. Also, you shouldn't be smoking cigs in here. And I thought that was really funny coming from my friend, because I had literally witnessed this dude smoke a blunt in the bathroom once. So this dude will rip a whole blunt in a bathroom, but if he smells any kind of smoke in the bathroom while he's using it, he's getting mad. Well, after he says this, right, after he, calls her out for smoking a cigarette, at least so he thought. That's what we thought. We didn't have any proof, right? We just smelled smoke and she was in the stall. The stall door opens, And she walks out. And guess what? This wasn't no fucking just average student. This was a full-grown adult teacher. And not just any teacher, but my teacher. I literally had her class that day. And she comes out looking super guilty, looking like she just got caught doing something bad, like a deer in headlights. And she goes over and starts washing her hands. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had to use this bathroom. The one upstairs is really far away and my legs hurt me. I don't want to go upstairs. And, I'm really not in the mood to walk that far. Now, I didn't say this to her, but I thought to myself, it shouldn't matter like how much your leg hurts or how far the walk is or how annoying it seems. Like, if you're a teacher, you should just go use the appropriate bathroom. I think going into a student boys' bathroom is not a good idea and just not very professional. Like I said, I didn't really care that much, but just other people probably would care. So that's why I'm saying that. Anyway, yeah, she's looking guilty, right? And my friend starts pressing the issue. He's like, why is it reek of cigarettes in there? And why is there smoke all over the room? Did you smoke? And she goes, no. And he goes, are you sure? Because there's smoke in the room in there. It would have dissipated by now if it wasn't a recent, cigarette being smoked in there. And she goes, I didn't smoke. And then he points to her pocket and he goes, what's that little square shaped thing in your pocket? And she looks down and she's like, oh, that's my phone. He goes, show us then. She goes, I don't need to show you anything. And he's like, if they're not cigarettes, why are you afraid to show us? And she goes, I'm not afraid. I just don't need to. And my friend is rage baiting this teacher. He's like, oh, you don't want to show us because you just ripped a cigarette in there. We know the real truth. And I look at him like, what the fuck do you mean we, bro? Leave me out of this. I didn't want to be involved in this. I want to go back to class, but I'm getting involved in this stupid rage bait shit my friend's doing. And she goes, you know what? Fine. And she reaches into her pocket and she goes to pull out her phone and she pulls out a pack of cigarettes. It's literally a pack of Marb Reds. And she throws it right back in her pocket immediately. And she's like, I meant to grab my phone. My phone's in the same pocket. And my friend goes, well, what a shocker. And she's like, no, you guys need to understand. I actually was reaching for my phone right there. It's just in the same pocket. Look. And she reaches in and she pulls out her little flip phone. And we're just both kind of laughing. And she's like, please don't tell people I have cigarettes. And then my friend says the wildest shit. He goes, just tell us the truth. Do you smoke a cigarette in there or not? If you say yes, I won't rat on you. I promise. You have my word. And she hesitates and she looks back and forth. And I shit you not, goes, please don't tell anybody. She basically just confirmed it. She goes, please don't tell anybody. And my dumbass friend's like, oh shit, I fucking knew it. I knew it. And she's like, shh, stop. Please. Guys, please don't tell anybody. And I was like, look, I gotta go to class. I'll see you guys later. And I turned around and I walked away. I just didn't say anything else. I left and I went back to class because this whole situation was getting way too much for me. I didn't want to be involved. I really didn't. And I didn't care. I know there's some students at my school that probably would have been like, dude, I'm going straight to the principal and I'm getting her fired. And honestly, they probably would have been within their right to do so. I think if you're a teacher, you gotta be pretty fucking stupid to be smoking cigarettes in a student bathroom on the job. That's pretty fucking dumb. But me just being tired and not in the mood and just myself, I didn't want to get involved. I was just like, fuck this, I want to leave. So I left the situation, I went back to class. Now, I wish I could say the story ends there, and I just, went about my business, and the rest of that school year was completely normal and nothing happened. But that's not the case. So a month later, right? A month goes by. At this point, it's the last month of 8th grade. I'm literally about to be done with the year. I come into school, right? And I go about my day like I normally would. And keep in mind, at this point, nobody has said anything about her smoking cigarettes in that bathroom that one day. I didn't say anything. My buddy hasn't said anything. We kept her secret because we didn't fucking care. We didn't want to get involved, right? Well, on this day, I get to school, right? Go about my day. And I get to English class. And I walk into English. And my teacher's not there. There's this random guy, this substitute, right? And I was curious, so I walked up to him. And I was like, hey, where's Mrs. Blank? I said her name. He's like, oh, she won't be in for the rest of the month. As a matter of fact, she won't be teaching at this school anymore. And my immediate thought was, oh shit, what happened? So I tried to pry for some information, right? I was like, well, did she quit? Did she retire? What do you mean? And he goes, I'm not really at liberty to say that. And I was like, okay. So I get through that class, right? I don't really think much else about it. And after class, I'm in the hallway at my locker, and my homie comes running up to me. And he goes, dude, did you see? They fired Mrs. Blank. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean they fired her? He goes, dude, she got fired. She got caught smoking a cig in the teacher's bathroom. I was like, you fucking kidding me right now, bro? Like, you messing with me? He's like, no, bro, I swear. I'm like, how'd you find out? He goes, one of the teachers told me. And he said what teacher. And honestly, I kind of believed him because that teacher was like notoriously known for yapping about other people's business and like leaking stuff, you know? So I was like, okay, maybe he's telling the truth. So I went to that teacher's room and I was like, hey, I'm coming from English. And I was just wondering, is she coming back? Like, did she quit? Did she get fired? What happened? And he's like, well, I shouldn't say this, but yeah, she got fired. She was making some bad choices. She had a smoking problem and she smoked on school grounds. And immediately I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And I walked out. I was like, yo, fuck, dude, this guy really just told 2 students like that, bro. Like, he just didn't even hesitate. But yeah, she got fucking fired, bro. And I remember I went home that day and I like went on Facebook and I saw other people in my class talking about it and shit. I even told my mom about it and she like found out like a few months later through someone that knew her more about it. And I guess she was smoking like in the teacher's bathroom just openly, and another teacher walked in and reported her. Pretty wild shit. Like, I get that nicotine's addictive, right? And cigarettes are addictive, but like, you really couldn't step outside and just like, you know, get off school grounds and have your cigarette during your lunch break or something. You had to do it in a student bathroom and then again a month later in the teacher's bathroom. Who knows how many times in between there she was doing it just in a space like that. It's just crazy to me. I don't know, man. Like, I don't really feel bad for her. Like, it's like, bro, what are you doing? It was just really weird because I feel like she was such a professional teacher, but then those 2 moments were just so unprofessional. I don't know, but I thought it was just wild to experience that. Usually it's the students doing shit like that, not the teachers. So I just had to tell it. As for her, I don't really know what happened to her. I'm assuming she's not teaching anymore. I tried looking into her like after this happened, shortly after, but I couldn't find anything about her online or like any news articles or anything like that. But yeah, guys, that's the story. Moral of the story is, don't do what she did. Yeah. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.